finally decided to sit down and make this terrarium. Firstly, plastic bowls that I bought at TK Maxx, a couple of quid, cut the top off it to make it a tray. Filled it with the pebbles, which will be a dry drainage layer, the clay pebbles, and also put some separately within the tray itself, although the plants will be touching the floor, so they'll just be the padding for any of the top stuff. Put the net in, which is a kind of fly screen. This is a top off a bottle, which will serve as a little hole so I can see whether the water has got the right level inside. And then what I decided to do, because they all seem very, very happy in their pots just sitting in water, so I tried to combine the two. So firstly, taking off the top edge of the pots so that exposed more of the mossy layer, which means that they're basically still in pots and still going to be sitting in water, but hopefully you won't have the ugly plastic bit showing at the top, and it means there's room for the moss, etc., to spread from one to the other and hopefully make it a little bit more homogeneous over time. But yeah, I just cut them with a pair of scissors and tore the top, you know, that kind of top lip layer off, and then I will put them straight in, and they'll be on the bottom of that plastic dish that you saw, so that when the water comes in, they should basically be pots sitting in water, but hopefully it won't look like pots sitting in water. Well, that's the idea behind it anyway. So I've got the sundews and I've got the Sarracenia. The sundews, I made the standard mistake that everybody makes, I think, despite being told and despite taking a lot of care. Yeah, you're bound to probably spill a bit of compost, etc. on them, but be really careful because it's going to be on there forever. So always have a quick look from the front, make sure everything's working. And that was then time to stuff in the sphagnum, which has gone a bit white because it's been in a bag a bit too long. That should green up over time, I hope. But yeah, the white's okay too, quite like it. Doesn't matter if too much goes through, but it should be okay. At the moment you can still see the plastic box, but the idea is that once I put the carbon down, so the active carbon, which should keep down molds, etc., and then another layer of the substrate, everything should be hidden. There will be springtails in here as well, so they'll be also dealing with all the waste. But the active carbon just stops it getting mucky and dirty inside. Carnivorous plant compost, totally against what you'd normally think. Basically you need no nutrients in it at all. They get their nutrients from the plants, etc., that they catch, which they do. They've been quite successful so far. So they don't want any nutrients within the soil itself because that will burn them out. These are just poppy seed heads, giant poppy seed heads, but they've got such a forest feel to them and almost sort of an alien surrealness about them. Tried to disguise the fountain a bit because I was a bit worried that it was going to look rather naff. But yeah, it kind of comes together a little bit. You can see the muck that's got stuck inside the sundews, which is a shame, but well, other bits will grow, and that's basically the idea of it. The next step was to put in some of the dairy cows. That was fun. Poor little buggers running away. Oh my god, what's going on? I feel so sorry for them, but I think they're going to be pretty much happy in here. There's one walking on a lump of gypsum in the corner. Yeah, they spent the evening exploring it and looking around, and they seem relatively happy. I hope they don't go and explore the carnivorous ones too much, but I guess that's a learning curve too. I feel it's looking quite natural. I also put in some roots at the front to give it the feel that there are roots going down, but they aren't actually connected to anything particularly. Oh, there's one stuck in the corner. Well, he's not stuck, but rather sweet. So there you have it. We shall find out what happens. I'll keep you all informed, and let's see if they carry on enjoying They're vivarium, first one I've ever made, so quite pleased with it. I think it's looking relatively real. We'll just have to see how long it lasts. At the moment, all good. There's lights on the sides, so at night it lights up. Looks quite pretty. You can also turn one of the lights off, so you get more of a sort of shadowy effect. I've also got a grow light in there, which I got cheap on Amazon, and that would be more for the daytime, but they should be getting enough light anyway where they're located. And yeah, they couldn't put the lid on. Flowers still sticking out over the top, but as soon as those flowers are gone, they'll have a lid on the top, so that should increase the humidity.